Hello and welcome to a 3v3 cast on the SD province. Starting off, we have Hiveminion playing as the Hive Tyrant in the blue team. We have Fr33man in mid playing as the Lord Commissar, and finishing off blue team we have MLGman playing as the Plague Champion. Moving on to the red side, we have Turbine playing as the Warboss Exarch up against Hiveminion. On the contested VP side, we have Blueman in mid up against Fr33man in the center of the map, and panzerbatallion playing as that Warboss, going to be fighting MLGman on the contested power side of the map. And already a bit of action going down here. The Plague Champion landing a few shots onto the Lord Commissar, going to be forcing them off, waiting for the guardsman to come in. And sorry for that notification on my phone, but my phone is now muted. Hiveminion going to be engaging the Plague Champion here. The Plague Champion going to be running back towards some green cover, and Eldar coming in at the same time, realizing that Hiveminion is heading towards the mid, wants to prevent his teammate from getting 1v2'd. Warp Spider going to be trying to pick up some models there, Dire Avengers. But the Lord Commissar going to be engaging here. Some CSM are sitting very far back right now, but the Plague Champion is already very low himself, forced out of green cover. CSM not doing enough damage here. The Plague Champion will get forced off in the end. The Sentinel is going to finish him off if he doesn't retreat his Plague Champion in time, and he will go down. Heretics now going to be engaging the guardsman here. No stump on the Sentinel to prevent the Heretics from actually engaging. Meanwhile, Hiveminion going to be engaging the Eldar at the same time, but the Eldar, not wanting a fight whatsoever, decides to actually back out the area. Guardsman getting very low, but not actually going to go down. Doom Blast going to go off to suppress the guardsman squad. Sentinel stump is now available, and it's going to go off, going to catch out those Heretics here. And Heretics now going to get forced off here, getting it very low on 2 models out of 8, and CSM going to be able to retreat away on full models as well. Meanwhile, second, the CSM squad coming in to actually finish off the job. Meanwhile, Hiveminion has actually managed to force an engagement against Turbine, going to be forcing off these Dire Avengers, already forced off the Banshees. Guarded Weapons team is coming out base for him, and the Warp Spider teleporting in very defensively. Meanwhile, on that right hand side, panzerbatallion going to be going in for a bash on the node. Warboss does a stomp, but actually misses that stomp completely there, and the Warboss is going to retreat away. Warrior Brood going to come out for Hiveminion, most likely going to follow up that with a Ravenous squad. Fr33man most likely going to go for a heavy weapons team, given that it's a double CSM squad potentially. And MLGman going for those Havocs because it is the Warboss and he wants to try and control the Warboss. panzerbatallion going to be going for the Stormboys blindly. Stormboys blindly purchased because it's most likely going to be a setup team, given that it's the Warboss. Meanwhile, panzerbatallion still going in for the map control, going to be bashing the power node on the contested VP. The power node on the natural is going to be replaced here, and it looks like Morgan wants to push in. Is getting the Blight Grenade upgrade as well, which is a poisonous grenade. That means poison enemy units, and they can also poison friendly units as well, so be very careful when using it. Hive Tyrant with the extended carapace, also getting the rending talons as well, can allow him to charge in, can also allow him to do an AoE attack as well, snuck by surrounding units, and just going to be going in onto that Guardian Weapons team. Rending talons giving him 75 melee DPS, allowing him to actually do a lot of damage in melee. Warrior is going to be getting caught here by the Banshees, and Stealth Bomb going to go off, but the Banshee is going to get caught out here. The special from the Hive Tyrant doing so much damage there, even though the Banshees didn't get knocked over, and even though they're retreating away, they still take damage from the special because they're in the radius of that special. And Humgon's going to be engaging Dire Avengers here. The Hive Tyrant just sitting there waiting for those Dire Avengers to retreat away, but they get a nice retreat path, so the Hive Tyrant will not be able to finish them off. Meanwhile, panzerbatallion going to go in, needs to be careful of that Blight Grenade, can be thrown over walls. Even a contested generator farm in mid. Blueman going straight to tier 2, has only spent 20 power so far, and has spent the rest on requisition. And Blueman, known for his mass blood crusher build, could actually see that come tier 2. Fr33man going to go in for a capture though onto the contested generator farm in the center of the map, going to be taking a generator away from red team, as well as Hiveminion tries to go in for a little bit of a power bash himself. But Turbine probably going to be coming out of base fairly soon, should be able to defend the rest of this generator farm, only losing a single generator. You know, on this right hand side, both commanders just sitting the other side of the wall. Warboss going to try and hide even further behind the wall, unable to actually crush this wall that he's standing behind, but a Blight Grenade is ready to be thrown there. Meanwhile, Blueman going to be pushing in with his grenade launch heretics. Hiveminion's army is very grouped up right now, going to be taking a lot of damage here. The Hive Tyrant is going to be charging in, but the term guns have already been forced off for him, and now the Hive Tyrant retreating away himself should be able to get out there just fine, since there is no melee on retreat for him. And Freeman going to be sitting in this area, going to be defending it, going to be trying to protect that generator that has been stolen from Red Team. Meanwhile, Blueman nearly finished his tech up to tier 2 before anyone else has even started to consider tier 2, and the first Blood Crusher is already getting built right away. Play champion still sitting behind that wall. CSM going to be pushing in forward. The Shooter Boys also pushing in forward to follow that up, and Storm Boys are in the area prepared as well, but the Havocs are set up quite far back, so the Storm Boys will need to push in a little bit further, and now the CSM gained forced off behind their yellow cover. Warboss going to be doing a lot of damage here, and even taking a model on retreat. Havocs going to be having to retreat away fairly soon, as the Storm Boy is going to be jumping in onto them. Heretics are in the area with this round champion. The Blight Grenade has got thrown down, but that's going to do quite a lot of friendly damage as well, but also doing a lot of damage. Are going to be forced off the Sluggers and Storm Boys before they are able to finish off these Havocs. I think that panzerbatallion could have stayed in the fight for a little bit longer and actually finished it off. Guardian Weapons team inside the building with absolutely no health at all, just a tiny sliver left. The Termagants coming into the area should be able to finish off that particular squad, especially with them not having any health whatsoever. The War Spider trying to entangle the Termagants to try and prevent them from getting in range, but it's not going to be enough, and the Guardian Weapons team inside that little bunker is going to go down. Termagants all piling behind this green cover, going to be using the crippling poison onto the Warp Spider, but the Warp Spider isn't really planning on going anywhere. He's quite happy to sit behind that green cover and try and pick off model at a time. Power Node going to get bashed. Power Generator is also going to get bashed at the same time. The Power Node, which just got replaced, is also going to get bashed once again. Heretics do need to be careful trying to engage here. The Warboss with the custom shooter going to be doing a lot of range damage, just 33.33 DPS, and has the A full auto ability, very similar to how the A pose or similar to the heavy death gauge spinner on the Warp Spider. Only problem is though that it can be a bit awkward when you try to use it on a squad with multiple members, because sometimes it will focus down wrong model even though you selected a specific one. And Blueman coming in here now already with 2 Blood Crushers on the field, everyone now taking out 2 tier 2, and now Heretic support is available for the Blood Crusher, which has already used all its energy already. This Hive Tyrant though does need to be a bit careful. It's going to retreat away on 600 health. It should be able to get away just fine. Blood Crusher might try to go in with its 90 heavy melee damage to single targets, but only bring down Hive Tyrant to 350. Does manage to get away, and at the same time another generator putting down for Blueman on a contested generator farm, going to get bashed. This time he's also managed to capture the mid generator farm, but losing his play champion in the process. Lord Commissar with a power sword and carapace armor going to be very effective against the CSM, but a noxious cloud behind the Guardsman. And a combo here, the auto drop coming in as well, but the Guardsmen have already retreated away, so the auto drop isn't going to do too much. But the Guardsman squad is going to go down to that noxious clouds. They are forced to retreat away the cloud, doing heavy melee damage, so retreating through it does actually increase the amount of damage you take from it. You want to try and stay on the field if you can to actually try and avoid the damage that the noxious cloud actually does. But on the left hand side, Hiveminion going to be forced off the Guardian Weapons team. Turbine going to get forced off the field, and Orks though is a very strange purchase for him. I think he got it mainly for the grenade drops, but the Orks itself going to be very weird given that there's no Banshees or Seer Council or anything melee really to actually go with her. Nothing to complement the army with. And Storm Boys now with their Knob Leader going to be able to stun on jump. Havoc's not getting stunned for too long. The Blood Crusher going to be fought now, right? But there is no worship support here for Morgan right now. Heretics are retreating back to base. Blood Crusher will need to be a little bit careful. The enhanced custom shooter going to be used to force off that plague champion. If he gets the armor of pestilence, he will be immune to knockback and will be able to ignore that enhanced custom shooter when it starts firing away. Blueman now on 3 Blood Crushers right now, going to be engaging here. Some Heretics going to be worshipping. Blood Crushers are demonic, so they do get 10 health regen per second, but given that his Naga worship is actually enhanced to 13.5 per Blood Crusher. There's some Rippers going to get spawned here for Hiveminion. Rippers do actually slow vehicles down by 3% per byte. I'm not sure if there is a maximum limit on that, but the Rippers will be very effective at trying to slow down the Blood Crushers, allowing Hiveminion to actually try and kill them. Meanwhile, Freeman pushing in with the Guardsman, but there's shot blockers getting used here, making it very difficult. Tyrant Guard's getting absolutely battered here as he gets 3v1'd by the triple Blood Crusher and going into the shield wall formation. The Blood Crusher's doing 92 heavy melee damage per Blood Crusher. going to be a little bit too much, even in the shield wall formation. The Rippers are able to actually unset up that guarded weapons team. The Blood Crushers decide to just pull out to death for now. The Guardsmen pushing in, double autocannons here for Freeman. Double autocannons will do quite a lot of damage to the Blood Crushers and at the same time be very effective against the double CSM that Blueman actually has. Flare going to be going down, going to be forcing the guarded weapons team, and Dire Avengers pushing in even further. Heavy weapons team staying up very close to all the action here, and that guarded weapons team might go down here. Hive Tyrant nearly finishing him off if he was actually focusing down the Shuriken Cannon instead of the models supporting it. That guarded weapons team may have gone down in the end. Crushing Claw doing 108 heavy melee DPS, going to be very effective as well against this Blood Crusher spam, who's now on 4 Blood Crushers. On the right hand side, that 1 Blood Crusher remaining alive. The Armor Pestilence now purchased on the Plague Champion. The Enhanced Custom Shooter isn't going to be as effective now, and the Cyborg Implants are getting purchased onto the Warboss to actually stun that Plague Champion since he is immune to knockback. But Blueman coming in on that right hand side, quadruple Blood Crusher coming in, going to be charging on retreat. The charge does power melee damage, I believe, so it's very effective on retreating units, and all the Blood Crushers going to be pushing in at the same time though. Blood Crusher for Morgan MLGman going to get really caught out here. The quadruple Blood Crushers should be able to finish it off and retreat here. And if not, Tank Busters are also in the area. Also cannons might be setting up here to try and fight these quadruple Blood Crushers. But the Blood Crusher for Morgan MLGman looks like it will live overall. A second Orks Cannon setup tiered, but there is no suppression available for either Orks Cannon. So the initial one is going to get unset up for now, and as all the Blood Crushers just pile in here, even the CSM getting affected by that Warboss as a boss pole. All the CSM having extra health and suppression immunity. And all the Blood Crushers picking up multiple models per swing there. 1 model per swing on the Blood Crusher on retreats against Guardsmen in particular. Hive Tyrant on retreat path here with that Crushing Claw, going to be able to easily pick off multiple models here. Might even be able to pick off a Fire Dragon model. Kind of surprised about Turbine's choice of double Fire Dragons, given that Tyranids don't really have any vehicle armor at come tier 2 other than this Tyrant Guard when it's in shield wall formation. Fire Dragons, which are effective against everything. I think something such as Dark Reapers maybe even been a more effective choice, or a single squad of Dark Reapers along with a squad of Fire Dragons. Just because warriors are heavy infantry, take extra damage from inferno damage, and be easier to get those Synapse bombs to go off, or even to just replace your Banshees comes here too. Now that you've got the Warthog to actually leap into combat, she needs a bit of, or she needs something to really support. The Plague Champion is stunned here by the Cyborg Implants, I think, or potentially from the stun bombs from the Stick Bombers. Warboss is going to be able to live overall. Stormboy is going to be engaging the Autocannon here, going to be stunning it, and Heretic's going to be engaging here as well. The Stormboy is going to get forced off, going to be losing some models here for that engagement. Meaning on the left hand side, Eldar going to be pushing in, the Auto going to be jumping into combat, but there are double Rippers on the field. That guided weapons team is definitely going to get unset up, but the Hive Tyrant actually gets there first. Hive Tyrant going to tie up that guided weapons team, but getting forced off as there's a bit too much melter damage in the area. But these double Rippers going to be so effective against these Fire Dragons. There's nothing to really fight these Rippers right now, since they are tiny infantry. It makes it very difficult for range damage to actually do anything against them. So a Banshee squad to replace the one that was lost earlier might be a good choice here. And Blueman coming in on the retreat path of Hiveminion could easily take down a warrior model or 2 here. Rippers even retreating away, but the warrior's going to get focused down here, or should be the focus. But the Blood Crushers kind of missing their mark here and deciding to actually ignore the warriors in the end. The Warp Spider going to go in for a capture. Meanwhile, on that right hand side, Blood Crusher going to be killing a CSM model. Don't normally see much action going on in the very corner of the map, but you do in this game. panzerbatallion and Hiveminion going to be the first 2 players going to go towards tier 2. Heretic are starting to worship, and the Blood Crushers are going to start piling in, charging in onto the autocannon. The first one is using its charge to get in there, and the autocannon squad is going to retreat away. Second autocannon squad not focusing down that initial Blood Crusher is going to get away here with 55 HP. Blueman now on 6 Blood Crushers. 1 Blood Crusher getting sniped though by that Sentinel missile launcher. Double Fire Dragons are coming in here. That Sentinel does need to be a little bit careful, does stomp to get rid of the surrounding Heretics, and that Tyrant Guard is also getting caught out at the same time. Flare has been dropped. Rippers are now coming in. Homegun's going to be coming in. Barb Strangler onto the Warrior is a very curious decision here. The Hive Tyrant coming in. The Hive Tyrant should be able to definitely stand up against these Blood Crushers. Blood Crushers having no melee resistance will take full damage from that Crushing Claw, and will take full damage from the Tyrant Guard's Claw as well. But Ripper's going to go down here in the end. All the Blood Crushers actually struggling to get surround on the Rippers there. Lord Commissar going to be tying up those CSM immune to the knockback with the Refractor Shield on, but he's going to get forced off in the end as that Refractor Shield does wear out. Some CSM here for Morgan MLGman though. We're getting a little bit caught out here by panzerbatallion's army. Sluggers with a knob leader on the tree, along with a Warboss and Stormboys very close by as well. 328 VPs, 311. Warrior Brood though. Going to be upgraded to the Barb Strangler, as I said, but it's going to be a very nice counter to Fire Dragons, given that they actually have 200 courage. But the Barb Strangler, I believe, does a bit more than 100 courage damage per shot, so it actually does suppress them with a single shot or even just 2 shots, and will keep that Tyrant Guard protected. But all the Blood Crushers coming in once again. Tyrant Guard is going to be backing away, Rippers are backing away at the same time. Fr33man coming in here, but the Auto Cannons are going to be setting up, but they might be a little bit too late on the setup. A third Auto Cannon is also purchased from right now. He has taken up to tier 2, and Auto drop is going to get called in once again. Is this a new Auto? It is a brand new Orks. It looks like Turbine did lose the previous Orks. Orks should leap on her own army there to actually buff it, but decides not to. The Barb Strangler Warriors, they're going to be suppressing that Fire Dragon squad. The Guardian Weapons team is going to go down. Tyrant Guard is going to finish it off with his claws, and Warriors going to be backing away there as they get a little bit too low to those double Fire Dragons. Meanwhile, Panzerbatallion is going to be carrying on with his push against this generator farm. The Blood Crusher is still alive here for Morgan MLGman. Plague Marines are firing away here, but Plague Marines not doing the most damage. Also, Cannon is going to be doing a lot of damage though to these shooters. Tank Busters are going to be the focus for this Blood Crusher, so just get rid of any AV there. But the Stormboy is going to be jumping in here. Touch of Nurgle should be available here for Morgan MLGman. Touch of Nurgle on the Stormboys could be absolutely devastating. Pestilent Strike has been used to stun the Stormboys, but the Heretics need to actually jump into combat instead of worshipping. Or Touch of Nurgle really needs to get used here, but the Heretics going to go down completely here, and that Blood Crusher has no more worship support whatsoever. Now the Plague Champion is getting jumped on as well, but the Plague Champion able to actually withstand that and able to force off those Stormboys. But the Plague Marines have also gone down for Morgan MLGman. He is getting a Predator now, but again needing some Heretics since he has lost all his repair support. The Blight Grenade only doing friendly fire damage there, and the Cyborg Implant Stomp is going to force him off the field. Ripper's going to be pushing in there against the Warp Spider, and Orks, the Orks going to be retreating away. The Warp Spider does have a teleport available and just uses that to get out the area, but Rippers are quite fast and very good against ranged units, given that they are so small. You need to actually melee the Rippers down just because of how small they are. It makes it very difficult to actually land your ranged attacks against them. You can see that the Warp Spider is missing half of his attacks here. But the Ripper's now going to go down overall. Ripper's only having 675 HP, but just very annoying to kill. Meanwhile, Sentinel going to come in mid. CSM barely forced off there at the last second, and Panzerbatallion going to be able to take down the entire generator farm there. The Predator is out on the field. Blood Crusher is also there. Heretics need to start worshipping the Plague Champion. Did go down in the end, and Predator is going to be upgrading to the Mark of Khorne, which will be very effective against all the infantry of Panzerbatallion. Barb Strangler Warrior is going to be suppressing these Fire Dragons. Meanwhile, the Auto Cannons here of Fr33man going to be firing away at those Fire Dragons. A very nice combination there to slow down the Fire Dragons and force them to group up for the Auto Cannons to actually do all the work. All these Auto Cannons are placed in such a way that if Blueman comes over, he'll be met with plenty of Auto Cannon fire. Currently on 7 Blood Crushers right now, and Heretics are still on the field as well. Blueman actually has enough resources if he wants even more Blood Crushers, but is currently pop capped at 93 out of 100 and is unable to get any more units for now. Even unable to actually get a new Heretic squad since Heretics are 8 pop. And now it's all gone quiet. All the action has subsided for now. 319 VPs to 267. Looks like Red Team wants to do a big push in mid. Meanwhile, Blue Team are currently set up on that contested VP, will be forced to make their way towards mid. The Eldar player is also coming in, just down to the double Fire Dragons and the new Orks that has just come out of the field. The previous Orks did go down, the one that was armed with the Executioner weapon. Ripper's going to be coming into the area, and at the same time CSM going in very aggressively here for this VP. Fist of Bbboscasts on that Lord Commissar, going to be able to finish off that entire squad in melee combat. In fact, it looks like the Predator actually finished off instead. But the Fist of Bbboscasts Nunshot 4 will get activated in the next engagement here. But Fr33man going with the Emperor's Wrath instead of the Stubbornness. Stubbornness combined with the Fist of Bbboscasts makes for a very nasty combination to actually deal with. But Emperor's Wrath going to go down, going to be catching out some Tank Busters, some Sluggers, not going to wipe any squads in particular. That will do some decent damage. And all the Blood Crush going to be charging. The Fist of Bbboscasts is now activated. The Sentinel is taking so much damage from Fire Dragons here. And Grenade Barrage has also gone off. That Lord Commissar could potentially go down. Warboss one more hit from taking it out. and the Blood Crush is going to be surrounding a Swarm Lord is out on the field here. And I don't know if the Drain Life ability works on Blood Crushers given that they are demonic. But the Swarm Lord is going to get absolutely surrounded here. Blood Crushers with 92 heavy melee DPS, and there are 7 of them on the field. I'm not going to do the maths, but that's a lot of heavy melee damage to actually fight that Swarm Lord. And Swarm Lord is actually going to back away along with the Tyrant Guard, not wanting a piece of that, especially when the Blood Crushers are under Worship. Even though they don't have any melee resistance, the Worship makes them so much tankier, so much harder to actually deal with. The blue team still in control of that left-hand VP. Blue team will need to hold the area. Red team are trying to push in. The autocannons has now been detected here. Barb Strangler Warrior is going to instantly suppress that Fire Dragon squad here. And now the Blood Crushers starting to charge in here. One Blood Crush going to be leading the charge, only to be met with even more autocannons, but the autocannons not slowing down per shot, going to get forced off in the end. Blood Crushers now on the retreat path. Might even finish off an autocannon squad if they get a decent surround here. But there's a final heavy weapons team that's going to get forced off now, and I believe it's now up to 8 Blood Crushers here for Blueman. Now that he lost that CSM squad earlier. Also going to be leaping in to actually buff the friendly heretics here, but the Swarm Lord coming in once again. The Swarm Lord is going to try and engage here. There's just mass Rippers. Trying to formation even going to go down here to actually buff the Tyranid units, but I think Rippers are going to be taking a lot of damage from that own Tyrant formation here. The Swarm Lord is pushing in. Rippers getting spread apart here by the Tyrant formation at the same time. And meanwhile, Panzerbatallion is going to get forced off here, but the looks of it on this right hand side, Blood Crusher is going in. Meanwhile, Swarm Lord still trying to chase down the Blood Crushers. Blood Crushers still deciding when they should engage. Worship is now activated here, and all the Blood Crushers charging in on the same spot to try and get rid of the Rippers. Rippers do slow 3% per bite here. Now the Swarm Lord is absolutely surrounded right now. Distortion is going to go down, going to be catching up with Rippers, and there's also a Noxious Cloud as well, so actually gets rid of those Rippers in the area. The Swarm Lord is trying to use the Drain Life ability, but not actually draining much life from the area. Blood Crushers cannot be life drained by the looks of it, but the Hive Tyrant coming in. Double Tyrant Guards in the area. One Blood Crusher down, a second Blood Crusher going to go down, a third one going to go down. Blueman just down to 4 Blood Crushers I can see in this fight. Did have 8 earlier. Hive Tyrant can easily finish off even more. An Eldritch Storm is going to go off, going to try and force Hiveminion off. Going to catch out those Tyrant Guards, going to catch out that Swarm Lord as well. Not able to actually finish off that Swarm Lord. Ooh, he is able to finish off the Swarm Lord. Now it's going to be absolutely devastating. The Hive Tyrant needs to turn and focus down a different Blood Crusher instead, but instead he will actually start to retreat away and go down. Blueman now on 5 Blood Crushers, lost his Heretics, needs to replace them for some more Worship supports. Is getting a 6 Blood Crusher out. Meanwhile, the Lord Commissar getting entangled there by the Warp Spider, unable to actually tie that D-Cannon. The Flare going to go down here, and Stubbornness has also been purchased on him now instead of the Emperor's Wrath, since that does actually have quite a long cooldown. The Autocannon's going to be backing up this engagement here, and the Commissar going to go in for a res onto the Hive Tyrant, going to be getting some extra health back as well as he gets some Guardsmen in the area for that Stubbornness bonus. Meanwhile, Morgan MLGman has got his Plague Champion back, has got some more CSM on the field, most likely going to be upgrading to the Mark of Khorne CSM, given that they are fresh out the gate. The Mark of Khorne Predator is still alive here by the looks of things, and even a Shrine of Nurgle getting placed at the natural power farm as well. Rippers pulling back as well. It looks like they might try and reinforce back at base. I'm not sure what the cost is to actually reinforce Rippers. But the Warboss is also still in the area. Level 3 Warboss, level 3 Plague Champion, level 6 Lord Commissar, level 4 Plague Champion for Red Team, level 6 Hive Tyrant, and level 6 Warp Spider Exarch, and an Avatar of Cain getting purchased here for Turbine. More Blood Crushers coming in for Blueman. Does actually have some worship support now with a new Heretic squad. Lehman Russ can get built for Freeman. Lehman Russ should be able to kite these Blood Crushers fairly easily. Might even upgrade to a Vanquisher turret for that single target damage, since Blood Crushers are a single target. And Vanquisher turret does do a lot of damage per hit. All the Rippers coming in, 4 squads of Rippers going to be engaging the fight here, while the Mark of Khorne Predator fights the Looter tank, but stun bombs landing onto the Predator, unable to move. Beamy Looters as well, going to be finishing off that Predator, doing so much damage here. Predator moves forward and crashes into the wall. Plague Champion is trying to go in, is armed with the Mucus Discharge instead of that Blight Grenade. Blight Grenade here, though, would be so punishing right now for Panzerbatallion, given how close the Plague Champion is. The Aura of Decay already been used, so the Plague Champion needs to be careful not to get surrounded with the Pestilence Strike. Going to be stunning all nearby units, but all nearby units do have 90% range damage resistance, and the Plague Champion going to be retreating away, but it might be a little bit too late there. The Warboss is going to be finishing off that Plague Champion. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, Tyrant Guards going to be coming in. Hive Tyrant also in the area. Capillary Tower going to get placed down. D-Cannon are going to be firing away at that Hive Tyrant, going to be retreating away now, and the Fire Dragon is trying to prevent themselves from retreating. But Lehman Russ actually going to be upgrading to the Executioner. It looks like he wants to try and group all the Blood Crushers together and actually do splash damage against them instead. But the Lord Commissar taking so much damage, that does have that stubbornness bonus, but the stubbornness bonus isn't going to protect him against 6 Blood Crushers here. And Leman Russ going to try and kite away as much as possible. Meanwhile, the avatar on the left hand side is now revealed itself. Stormboy is going to be jumping in here. Leman Russ still trying to kite, or still trying to fight all these Blood Crushers together. A 7th Blood Crushers coming in. Blood Crushers trying to get surround onto Leman. There's one trying to actually get a flanked path lock that Leman, but it's going to be unsuccessful by the looks of it. But the splash damage from the execution is going to be so effective. All the Blood Crushers are going to start getting melee hits now. The autocannons are set up here and going to be forcing off the rest of these Blood Crushers. The autocannons also doing a bit of splash damage as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Touch of Noble getting used here onto the Heresy. It's going to be getting those Stormboys killed, or get those Shooter Boys killed, deciding not to retreat away for some reason. But it looks like Panzerbatallion was on so much pop right now that he actually needed to sacrifice those shooters and was getting a new unit out, and now down to 79 out of 100. I think he needs to lose one more population and he can get himself a Bass Wagon, but decides to actually go for a Knob Squad instead. This avatar though may have overextended itself. There's just so many Rippers here. Ripper's going to be tying up all the Fire Dragons. The Orks even arming herself with a fusion gun very similar to what the Fire Dragons are using, or exactly the same as what the Fire Dragons are using. The Tyrant Guards and the Hive Tyrant together going to be fighting the avatar, going to be actually winning that engagement. More Rippers coming in for the flank, going to be slowing down the avatar if they can actually get some hits in, but the Rippers actually getting tied up there by almost, but I didn't even see them. Leman Russ coming in around the corner, and the Plasma Guardsmen going to be very effective against that avatar since it is super heavy infantry and going to be forcing them off, and Fire Dragon's going to be going down. Meanwhile, the Warp Spider is trying to run away. The Orsak, where is the Orsak? She is also retreating away. Meanwhile, Blueman in base right now with all of his Blood Crushers on 3, 6, 8 Blood Crushers right now. How much population is he on? 93 out of 100 once again. Eldritch Storm does go down here, but doesn't look like it's actually done too much. All the heavy weapons team's guardsmen are still alive, and Hiveminion still got his entire army. Meanwhile, in mid, some tank busters going to be going down here. Panzer trying to sacrifice even more units. Now that Morgan doesn't actually have any vehicles, there's no point in keeping those tank busters alive, and can use that resources on something else, such as a Knob Leader I think may have got purchased. Or some upgrades onto the knobs anyway. But given that he's getting a huge hammer, he's most likely going to get the Knob Leader to actually lead the squad, and is going to rely on these knobs to be a source of AV and going to be the bulk of his army. Also with the fusion gun coming in there, D-Cannon setting up a little bit too close. The Leman Russ is going to have a field day against this D-Cannon. In fact, D-Cannon's going to back away now. Panzerbatallion going to be coming in on that right hand side. A brood nest is going down here. So Fr33man can reinforce the field, but is going to be forced to retreat away in the end. At the same time, all the Blood Crushers coming in from behind. Tyrant Guards going to be trying to fight here along the Hive Tyrant. All the autocannons now been forced off. Rippers are in the area. I think an autocannon squad might go down here. Very difficult to tell, but the Blood Crushers are going to be doing so much damage. But the Hive Tyrant and Tyrant Guards are able to fight the Blood Crushers very effectively. And Blood Crushers getting very low. And Imperial Abyss is going to go down. Looks like it's going to somewhat miss Panzerbatallion's army. Looks like he managed to get out there just fine, and all the Blood Crushers in the area as well. Going to get some more worship support, or are currently getting worshipped right now anyway. Meanwhile, Leman Russ getting caught out here by some stun bombs, so there's nothing to really follow up those stun bombs just yet. The Looter Tank not really wanting to move much further forward, but some stick bombs are going to go down. That Leman is getting very low, down to 175 HP. The Looter Tank is going to try and chase down that Leman. One more hit will do it. But that Looter Tank is not focusing down. Okay, the Leman is going to actually go down in the end. Tyrant Guard's going to get some rear armor hits onto that Looter Tank. The Looter Tank will be able to get away just fine. Tyrant Guard's going to be pushing in. Swarmlord has been repurchased again for Hiveminion. You can see that speed boost on those Rippers from that Swarmlord as well. Meanwhile, Morgan going to be pushing in for that natural VP here, since all three armies of Red Team are in the area. Surrender formation just for a single Fire Dragon squad. Really wants to keep this Tyrant Guard squad alive, or Tyrant Guard live, not Tyrant Guard squad. All the Blood Crushers are ready for combat. Once again, another Leman Russ is coming out of the area, and that Warp Spider is most likely going to go down, but actually managed to teleport out there just in time. Play Champion going to be using that Pestilent Strike, going to be healing himself, going to be retreating away. Does get a decap onto the natural requisition. The Play Champion though for Blueman is going to go down in the end. No upgrades on him so far, even though he is level 4. And even though he does have plenty of power to actually get the upgrades on him as well. Rocks even getting cast in terms of the Guardsmen. Guardsmen going to be retreating through. It looks like they've dodged it though for the most part, but that Leman is taking the absolute brunt of the rocks. Will go down in the end with the help of that Looter Tank. Going to be a bit too much. Meanwhile, Hive Tyrant trying to go in for a capture onto the VP. Swarmlord is going to force off that D-Can before the Singularity went down. 228 VPs to 66. Reds are going to be repurchased here for Morgan MLGman. Currently no mark on it just yet. Ripper's trying to chase down a looted tank here as well. And red team will need to do something quite big, or needs to do a large push if they actually want to regain control of this VP and actually start bleeding blue team of some VPs. Another avatar is coming out for Turbine as well. Another Fire Dragon squad even getting made at the same time. Blueman taking up tier 3 as well. Could see some Terminators, could see an Imperial Abyss, given that he actually has over 500 red right now. And as soon as that play champion is resurrected, it looks like he's actually going to go down. Even the also can gain executes, but the play champion is in a slightly easier place to resurrect the Wall Spider next time. Swarmlord going to be fighting the Orks, the Avatar trying to hit that Swarmlord at the same time. Swarmlord might be regressing going in. There's just so many fusion guns on the Fire Drags and on the Orks. It's going to be difficult for the Swarmlord to try and do anything. He needs to get very close, needs to actually use the Drain Life ability. Looks like Swarmlord is going to go in once again. Builder Blood Crushers are coming in from the same time from the right hand side. Fire Dragon's getting a little bit too close to that Swarmlord. And a Drain Life on that Swarmlord is going to help keep it healthier-ish. Builder Blood Crusher is going to get going in. Stormboy is going to be engaging. That Swarmlord is going to be forced off here in the end. Also going to be buffing those Fire Dragons. Flare going to go down though. Going to prevent them from actually having much range at all. And all the Rippers with that Swarmlord speed buff going to be fleecing in here. And Lord Commissar with that Fist of BbBoS and the Hive Tyrant with the Crushing Claw should be a decent amount of heavy melee to actually try and fight these Blood Crushers. One Blood Crusher is going to go down here. Worship is started as well, so the Blood Crusher is regenning 13.5 health per second. Meanwhile, panzerbatallion going to be fighting Morgan here, but there's no worship support by the looks of it for these Predators or any repair support. The Heretics are not in that engagement. The play champion is in that area, but the Blood Crusher is going to be prevailing on this left hand side. That Hive Tyrant though needs to be the focus. All the Rippers are getting in the way of that Hive Tyrant, or preventing the Blood Crusher from being able to fire at that Hive Tyrant. But the Hive Tyrant is doing so much work. Another Blood Crusher going to be going down. That Crushing Claw is just doing so much work right now in this engagement. A level 8 Hive Tyrant. Even the Psychic Scream is also used as well to prevent or to reduce units range damage. Another Blood Crusher going to be going down here to that Hive Tyrant, but it looks like it's so low right now. But the Hive Tyrant getting a special instead of a melee attack. Trying to formation, even going down in the area. He also like trying to leap in, trying to boost the Fire Dragons in the area, but the Hive Tyrant able to remain in the fight for a little bit longer. Going to get forced off in the end now, and double Predators going to get repaired back up in mid here for Morgan MLGman, but still no marks on either Predator just yet. I think both of them should get upgraded to the Mark of Khorne, given that it's only a single looted tank on the field, and given that there's also knobs on the field as well. Warlock going to get suppressed here. The Swarmlord coming out of base is regened up to full health. More Blood Crushers getting built here for Blueman. Sick counts getting purchased for Turbine. Meanwhile, Hiveminion down to just a Warrior Squad and a Swarmlord here. Will struggle a little bit. 192 VPs to 45. Guardsmen going to be pushing in. Autocannon set up once again. Just a double autocannon, or just two autocannons now. Fr33man did have 3 much earlier. Swarmlord with the Blade's Fury going to be killing that D cannon here. One more hit is going to do it, and there's even a nuke going to go down as well. Going to be catching out in a heavy weapons team, but the Guardsmen have avoided it for the most part, and nothing is going to get lost in the end. Wailing Doom going to go down, going to be catching out this Warrior Squad here. Only going to be catching out the tail end of that squad, but the Blood Crusher is going to be coming into the area once again. Another Lehman Russ though, this time with an Executioner coming in here. The Avatar going to be pushing forward. The Warrior is going to be prevented from capping them. In fact, they will actually get a cap just in time before losing a model, but they will get forced off in the end. Hive Tyrant going to go for a res onto the Lord Commissar. Nunshell Fork is going to get used straight away here, and the Avatar is going to get fought here by the Plasma Guardsmen and the double heavy melee commanders here. Given that the Avatar super heavy infantry, these Plasma Guardsmen should be fairly effective. The double Predators in mid going to be very effective as well against this massive Blood Crusher, and still no upgrades onto these Predators yet. Could even upgrade to double Mark of Tzeentch, given that there are the double Blood Crushers or the mass Blood Crushers even on the field. This Lehman Russ with the Executioner is getting absolutely destroyed here. Rear armor hits from those Blood Crushers going to be a bit too much in the Seer Council. Able to actually jump onto all these Guardsmen. There's no suppression whatsoever here for blue team right now, so the Seer Council able to just run up here. The Avatar providing 30% range damage resistance, and the Seer Council themselves having a 15% range damage resistance aura, and the same with the Orks with the Scorpion Shield ability, or passive rather. All in all, 60% range damage reduction total for the Eldar army, providing they all stick together. But the Seer Council chasing it a little bit too far here, going to get away though with 3 out of 5 models, but should have maybe backed away a little bit early. And the play champion going to go for a sneaky cap here for blue team. Going to be getting a decap there. Double Predators though moving in, still no mark on either of these Predators. I really do think that they should get upgraded at this point, does have the resources to actually do so right now, and all the Blood Crushers going to be falling back towards that natural VP to try and defend it. Blueman still on 78 population out of 100. Going to be the third highest in terms of army size. In terms of population, Heretics going to go in for the capture. 156 VPs to 35. Flare getting dropped down here to actually see what's going on. Flare does actually give vision and can be placed in the fog of war. But Swarm Lord back again. CSM even in the area, both CSM with the Aspiring Champions and with the Eternal War. Slaughter is going to get used here, but the Blood Crusher, or the Looter Tank, sorry, is going to be knocking back those CSM, where the mass Blood Crushers, they're actually all defending the natural VP right now. They're not going to be defending this contested VP right here. The Psychic Stream getting used, going to be reducing all nearby units down, damage down to, or down by 25%. Stormboy going to get killed here in the end. Slaughter CSM along with the Predator is going to be a bit too much, and Hive Tyrant desperately trying to chase this Looter Tank. We're going to cost it its life. Doesn't actually get it in time, but the Predator should be able to finish off, but the Predator decides to actually back away. The Hive Tyrant able to just barely get away at the same time. Meanwhile, the Warboss is coming in at the same time. So many heavy melee commanders in this game. Nunshot 4 is getting used. Wailing Doom though going to be splitting apart that army. Nunshot 4 doesn't have the largest of radiuses. The Leman Rust though very low right now, 130 HP. The Blood Crushers are not committing to this engagement. The Avatar meanwhile is Slaughter getting used on the second. The CSM squad now. Guardsman trying to go in here. The Avatar picking off model by model with each swing 240 damage per swing on that sword. Avatar still pushing in forward, but it seems like the Eldar is the only one committed to this engagement. The Orks and the Chaos players have decided to actually back away from the fight. 20 VPs for Red Team, so they really need to commit to something at this point. Bunker is also placed down, but nothing is actually getting used on this bunker just yet. It's not a repair bunker, or actually it is a repair bunker, but it looks like that Leman Rust is repairing. Sick Council trying to jump on to that Leman, and Carnifex now out for Hiveminion, armed with a Venom Cannon, going to be very effective against this mass Blood Crusher. Now the Blood Crusher is coming in for a flank, going to be surrounding one of these Chaos Predators, going to be doing so much damage here. But the second Predator is going to kite away. The Orsa Cannon squad is going to retreat away and should be able to get away just fine, but the Predator is doing a lot of damage here to all these Blood Crushers, and at the same time Blue Team have actually got a cap onto the natural VP here. Not the cap, well, Blue Team. Red Team looked like they were going to go in for a cap, but I got the commanders confused. But Red Team going to lose their contested VP, and they're only down to 20 VPs. And Eldritch Storm even going down onto the Hive Tyrant. They really don't want Blue Team to actually get that VP, and I don't blame them with only 20 VPs, but all the Blood Crushers need to maybe commit, go mid, and go in for a push. Another Leman Rust is out on the field here. Looks like that one is armed with a Vanquisher Cannon. No, standard cannon, sorry. Not a Vanquisher Cannon. Could get upgrades to a Vanquisher Cannon, or it could be another Executioner turret. Warboss going to go in there, going to be able to pick up a few models there with that Power Claw, but he's able to remain in the fight long enough, but he's actually going to retreat away in the end. The Fire Drag is going to be pushing in here, going to prevent the cap here for Blue Team, but Blue Team with so much more of an army here is going to force a Red Team away to drain life, getting used onto that Hive Tyrant. That Fire Dragon squad does need to be careful, going to be losing a couple of models on retreat. Meanwhile, panzerbatallions, Predator going to be coming in, Looter Tank even going to be coming in. Looks like they're going to make a cap attempts now to natural VP knobs with their Frenzy and Blood Crushers to actually tie up all the other units, but the Blood Crushers not actually committing, they're actually backing away. The Blood Crushers seem to be regrouping for some reason behind some green cover instead. And Blue Team are now in control of that contested VP, but at the same time they did lose their natural, so the VP is still 1-1. Knobs now forced off. There's nothing to really cap this VP other than the Heretics, but the Heretics are needed for that worship support for the mass Blood Crushers and the double Rippers trying to chase down these mass Blood Crushers, but the Blood Crushers can turn and fight. 124 VPs to 20. Swarmlord is going to be pushing in, met by some commandos, met by some tank busters as well. The Swarmlord might go down. I don't know if it's got the drain life ability off cooldown or not, but the Looter Tank, the tank busters are going to be a little bit too much, but the drain life ability is going to save it in the end, and Blue Team now on a 2-to-1 cap here might actually be able to finish off a game. Rocket Run even going to go down, going to catch out that friendly Hive Tyrant though, but it's not actually going to do too much damage to the Hive Tyrant in particular. The VPs now for Red Team just ticking down. Red Team unable to actually make a push onto that contested, unable to make a push onto the natural here, and Blue Team are going to be the winner in the end.